Tell us what you've learned about the essence of successful leadership. Maybe something you wish you knew 20, 30 years ago.
Sure. I think, what I've learned is to allow myself to be seen, to allow myself to be vulnerable as a leader, to not feel the pressure of having all the answers or knowing everything. I think if I look back 20 years hence, one of the things that was frightening at the time when I started my journey of leadership is, what does this mean? Does this mean I have to have all the answers? Does this mean I have to know everything? Does this mean I have to be stoic at every turn and wear a Kevlar vest and so forth? And so many of us, I feel, make mistakes because we are closed off. We are wearing that bulletproof vest. And in the case of women, sometimes we are emulating masculine standards of leadership, especially in a patriarchal South Africa. And it's when I came to be comfortable with the me that I am, and to desire to lead with authenticity. Did I discover that a big part of authenticity is my own willingness to be vulnerable with people I lead. And at the end of the day, I think that that is what allows people to connect with you more deeply than they otherwise would. And that's what I would have told my younger self.
And I guess one could tell that to a younger self, and younger self would think they know better and almost
Mm,
learn it
mm,
the hard way. No, no, no. When you're younger, you want to be more formal and dynamic
mm,
and more
mm,
driven and competent. And then as you get older, you maybe realize that
mm.
vulnerable. I don't know everything. Is that what you mean by being vulnerable? Just the ability to say,
Yeah,
let's find out together. I don't have all the answers. Or is it more than that?
yeah, and it's also being real. I remember the discomfort of trying to be whatever this mantle of leadership, um, as I'd seen it emulated and so forth. And so you feel inauthentic, you feel uncomfortable, you're not in your stride, you feel more scripted and so forth. And so vulnerability for me means journeying with people. It means sharing a vision and saying, but let's co-create it. It means being willing to say, I don't have all the answers, and that I don't believe leadership actually is about having all the answers. It is about the ability to take a guiding coalition of people who buy into a vision and take the best of all the ingredients and talents that you have there, to achieve what you're wanting to achieve together.
Just tell me very quickly, Lindy, when you look back at the boardrooms and the executive teams you sat in, how many of the others around the table, now that you look with hindsight, were in that
Mm,
uncomfortable, unauthentic role of
mm,
what I think a leader is and therefore project who I'm not? How many other
mm.
leaders do you think around the table perhaps were in the same position, not being their authentic selves?
I would say the overwhelming majority, and I'm in the fortunate position to have retained relationships with a lot of my peers that we walked with. And very often, reconnection is about our latest learnings, it is about where we are. And it is also about reminiscing about those times and the things that we thought we knew, and how wisdom of experience has taught us, and the gift of some of those lessons having come early. I think the overwhelming majority of us, especially those of us who were younger, where we were privileged to have some grayer hair in the room, I think at times we wanted to best that grayer hair. But I think the overwhelming majority of us were really walking in this internally terrified, and sometimes that was even a feeling, am I worthy of this, the imposter syndrome and so forth. And so I find that a lot of us yield to the temptation of other people's scripted definitions of leadership, rather than what other people have seen in us, in making us leaders. And the sooner we are comfortable in our own skin, in our own stride, do we live up to what other people have actually seen in us.
I kind of wonder what teams are missing out on by not allowing or creating a breakthrough experience where the leaders around the table can actually become more vulnerable and more confident within themselves, and able to be authentically be themselves and be those people that others saw. As you say, it's almost, I see something in you, I give you the opportunity, and then you go and try and be someone else. No, 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 whoa, come back, come back. Let me tell you what I felt in you. Let me tell you what I saw in you. Continue down that path. Don't now try and be like the others around the table who are actually not even authentically themselves, potentially. So thank you for just bringing out those points and energizing me to want to explore it more.